Hey there, I'm Janice Stafford with BIC Magazine, and I'm joined today by Daniel Velasquez, plant manager at Kuraray's La Porte facility. Kuraray is taking a proactive approach to reliability, and today we're talking with Daniel about how his team is working with Pinnacle to strengthen operations, make data-driven decisions, and ultimately improve plant performance. So we're also particularly fond of Daniel because he is one of our featured speakers at BIC Magazine's upcoming Prime Expo and conference on August 19th in Pasadena, Texas. At Prime, Daniel will be sharing insights on Curay's approach to reliability and its impact across their operations. So we're excited to get a preview of that today, Daniel. So thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you
Appreciate
for
it.
having me.
Yeah. So to get us started, can you give a quick overview of your role at Laporte and what the site is focused on operationally?
Mhm. Yeah, so as mentioned, I am the Laporte plant manager, so I have pretty much oversight over the entire site, from operations, safety and compliance, leadership, budgeting, performance, and so I'm pretty much responsible for all aspects of the facility. At the Laporte site, we have two facilities here. So we make two products. One is actually raw material feed for the other. And so we make vinyl acetate monomer, and we take that vinyl acetate monomer and we convert that to polyvinyl alcohol, or PVOH. And we use that PVOH in all sorts of aspects: textiles, thermoplastics, oil fields, cement, glass fibers. So it's used in all sorts of different applications within outside of Kuraray.
Okay. Reliability is clearly a priority for Curare. How do you define reliability at the plant level, and what does success look like to you?
Yeah, so for example, when you're talking about reliability, so one is, low unplanned downtime, high mean time between failures. So those are bad. Consistent performance across shifts, then predictive maintenance, catching issues early. So for us, what we're always trying to do is minimize the downtime, because we want the unit to be ready when it's asked to produce. And so making sure we have a high, what we measure our metrics through OEE, operational equipment effectiveness. So we want to ensure we have high OEE. We want to also make sure we have strong predictive and preventive maintenance programs. So we're trying to be proactive when that happens, ensure root cause analysis, and also have reliable spare parts. That's what success for us looks like. And so for us, those are the key things that we want our unit to be, is to be able to produce when asked, be able to run when needed, and making sure we're being proactive to ensure we capture failures early.
Gotcha. Yeah, proactive. It's a way to keep
Mm-hmm.
things moving. You've been working with Pinnacle on several reliability initiatives. Can you tell us a little bit about Pinnacle? What made you decide to bring them in, and what has that collaboration looked like?
So, as part of our what we call at Kuraray, we call midterm plans. So we normally plan ahead about 3 or 4 years in advance. So this actually midterm plan is part of the 2022. We actually did a 4-year plan because it'll be Kuraray's 100th year in 2026, and to kind of coincide with the 100th year, one of the uh, one aspect that we were actually focused on, that Kuraray was pushing for, is digitization. We need to be a global digitized company, and how do we use tools to better improve our work processes, actually make life easier for our employees. And so Karari's made this big push starting 2022 to use tools to better make our work a whole lot easier. With that, as we were looking at how do we improve the reliability of our site, the LaPorte site is a pretty old site, it's over 50 years old. So reliability has been an issue for us. And so we were looking for somebody who can help us kind of bring all the PMs that we do, all the inspections that we do, the data into one aspect that we can actually see. And Pinnacle actually offered that to us. So we partnered with them late last in 2024, and actually brought them in 20 this year, earlier this year, to help us out. And so Pinnacle kind of matched what we were looking for in terms of we need to do something different. We needed a change in our culture in terms of how we think and use our data. And Pinnacle offered that opportunity to us.
Okay, great. Yeah, it sounds like they helped really pinpoint where to focus, for the
Mm-hmm.
site. So, well,
Yes.
part of this work has been about developing forward-looking KPIs. What are some of those KPIs and how have they helped your team stay ahead of potential issues?
So the nice thing about what Pinnacle does, they actually do predictive modeling. So they can actually take the data that we have and then develop a predictive model for us. In at the Prime Conference, I'll actually be sharing two examples that we have. The nice thing about it, what it does, what the model does, is it develops what's called a cone of certainty. So as you if your data is good, the cone of certainty is pretty tight. If your data is not so good, the cone of certainty is very wide. So what that allows us to do is, as we look at those cones of certainties, if the cone is very wide, then what we can do is, okay, what do we need to be doing to ensure that as the model gets, make sure that the model gets a smaller cone of certainty. So that way you don't have that wide spectrum. What that does, that wide spectrum kind of predicts when your asset may fail. So it could be, I mean, because it could be wide, so many years. So make sure that that cone is really, really tight. And so that's what they help us do. They can actually help us see and say, okay, we need to be focusing on why is this cone so big and how do we get it tighter. And for those that actually have the tight cone of certainty, at that point, like, okay, data is good. I think we're good. We'll continue to do work, keep pushing that one forward. So kind of helps us redirect focusing in terms of where we need to really focus our resources on.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, cost is always a part of the conversation. So,
Yes.
how has this reliability focused approach supported your efforts to reduce costs without sacrificing that performance?
Right. So one of the nice things now that we can actually, I almost say, we can see into the future. Right? One of the things that the model provides for us, it shows what our availability will be in the next coming years. So what we can do is we can look at the model and as we plan for turnarounds, 2 year turnaround, 3 year turnaround, and then as we look at the assets, we can say, well, can we postpone this inspection? Do we need to do this inspection? Based on what the model is telling us, we can say, you know what, we probably need to look at that piece of equipment in the next turnaround. Or we can say, you know what, let's postpone it till the following turnaround, whenever that may be, and then uh, look at it then. So there's some savings in there in terms of like, do we spend the money now? Do we spend the money later? So we can actually see that. One of the things that they did do this year, even though Pinnacle did come in a little bit late, we had a turnaround schedule in April. They helped us do a reliability model assessment for our control valves. So we inspect control valves during our turnaround, and so because we are resource limited, I didn't have the resources to look at all the data. Pinnacle, what they did, they came in, looked at the control valves that we were actually going to inspect, and based on the data, they came back and said, you know what, you may not have to inspect all these valves. Maybe you can cut it back to this number of valves, and we did. So they gave us a list. We took that list and we presented that to the maintenance group. They looked at that list and they said they felt comfortable. It's like, yeah, we can remove those items from the list, or we'll inspect them at the next outage. So that allowed us to save some money at this outage too. And so from that standpoint, they helped us. Actually, it was a cost avoidance, and so we didn't actually have to spend the money for those inspections. So that was one cost savings for us. Again, using Pinnacle to assist us in that from that standpoint.
Okay, well, Daniel, we sure appreciate your time today and all of this insight into how Kuraray is driving reliability in a smart and strategic way is really helpful for our audience to hear. And of course, we look forward to hearing more from you at this year's Prime Expo, and I will see you then. And we encourage everyone watching to register for the event, theprimexpo.com. Attendees will have the opportunity to network with other business leaders, expand industry knowledge, and learn about innovative products and solutions from our 125 exhibitors at the expo. To learn more about Curare America, visit curare.us.com. And for more interviews, news, and industry insights, just head on over to bicmagazine.com. And remember, it's what we do together that counts.